All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're shining a spotlight on what is widely considered one of Ballroom's absolute most energetic, bright, and bouncy styles, the Quickstep. Look, if you've ever watched dancers literally fly across the floor and thought to yourself, how on earth are they doing that without tripping over each other? Well, you are in the perfect place. We're going to demystify the Quickstep right now, pulling in insights straight from the experts to figure out exactly what makes it tick. Dance professionals actually refer to this style as a rapid foxtrot. And it's essentially built on three main pillars: speed, smooth travel, and some incredibly crisp footwork. Because you're blending this very light, driving rhythm with a smooth, flowing look, it can definitely feel a bit intimidating at first glance. But honestly, there's a very specific logic to how the whole shebang comes together. So let's get into section 1. Meet the quick step and what exactly it is. Before you let the sheer speed of what you see on TV scare you off, let's break down the reality of the dance floor. At its core, the quick step isn't just about moving your feet fast. Actually, scratch that. It's entirely about momentum. To handle that kind of speed, dancers have to lock into a really tight, compact frame, executing these super quick actions directly under their center of gravity. They're relying on a fierce sense of timing to keep everything feeling light. If you try to just rush the steps, the whole dance immediately becomes stiff and heavy. It's that signature, light, driving rhythm that gives the quick step its true character. Moving on to section 2, core elements and the mechanics of momentum. How do you actually generate and control all that energy? Well, there's this beautiful contrast sitting right at the heart of the quick step. Even though there is a steady underlying beat, dancers use razor-sharp timing changes to alternate back and forth between a smooth, icy glide and sudden, lively action. And it's exactly this dynamic, that smooth gliding versus striking action, that keeps it visually thrilling, preventing it from just looking like a flat sprint around the room. As you level up in this dance, you start creating these recognizable shapes that produce a very specific forward and lift sensation. But what really brings it to life are the dramatic pauses and accents. When you hit a pause perfectly in time with the music, it creates this crazy illusion of hovering. It takes incredibly coordinated foot placements and a massive amount of trust in your partner connection to sweep through those figures so efficiently. So, knowing all this about the speed, the momentum, and the intense connection required, it really begs the question, can someone brand new to ballroom actually handle this? Is the quick step right for beginners? The short answer, yes, absolutely. It's a surprisingly welcoming beginner dance, but only if you approach it with the right mindset. It's a perfect fit for anyone who loves fast music and is totally willing to practice timing drills right out of the gate. On the flip side, if you're expecting a slow, forgiving routine on day one, or if you just want to immediately master a flashy, full-floor competition routine without building a foundation first, you might want to hold off. You really have to be willing to start with simpler timings to build up that confidence safely. All right, let's hit section 3, how beginners should train and approaching the fast lane. If you decide to take the leap, how do you avoid getting completely overwhelmed? First off, you need an instructor who breaks things down into strict priorities. You absolutely have to prioritize timing drills over memorizing complex figures. Focus on your balance, work on your rise and fall so your steps stay effortlessly light. Here's a huge pro tip. Learn the basic patterns in small chunks using a metronome. It forces you to focus on smooth travel and coordinating with your partner instead of just chasing maximum speed. And finally, get out to social practice sessions. You need to learn the feel of the dance in a crowded room before adding layers of complexity.
Which brings us to section 4, inside your first lessons and what to expect.
Let's picture day 1. You walk into the studio and your earliest sessions are going to focus heavily on warm-up fundamentals, getting a stable closed hold, basic stepping patterns, and simplified direction changes. Mentally, you should expect your improvement to hit in 3 very distinct phases. Phase 1, pure awkwardness in your timing, totally normal. Phase 2 happens almost suddenly. It just clicks and you catch the rhythm. And finally, phase 3, where your movement actually starts to look continuous and natural. You're maintaining a connection while moving at high speed, so yeah, this progression definitely takes some patience. If you take away just one thing from this explainer, let it be this. The quick step rewards persistence just as much as it does raw, natural talent. If you are willing to put in the reps on those core fundamentals, your posture, your frame, and translating speed into clear technique, it blossoms into this beautifully rewarding dance where you literally feel like you're floating. The quick step is fast for sure, but it is 100% within your reach if you take it step by step. So, I'll leave you with this to ponder. Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone, embrace the wild energy of the rapid foxtrot, and take your very first quick step?